Hello, hello, hello. Anybody there? How are you doing today? We will be starting in just 1 or 2 minutes. Give a couple of minutes for people to find the channel, find the video, and start viewing. So we'll be starting in just 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, happy Saturday. How is everyone doing? I hope you're doing good. I'm here. Another lovely Saturday. The weather's not great today, but at least the winter is going away. At least spring is coming. After the rain, I'm sure more of the cherry blossoms will bloom, and that will be lovely. Okay, so today we are talking about a new strategy for communication. That's what this class is about. Different strategies for effective communication. And kind of strategies that we don't always study about in English classes. That's what I'm trying to focus on. So today we're going to be talking about commenting and criticizing. So let's look at what that means. So commenting and criticizing. So of course, commenting is saying something about another person or about a thing. And criticizing is being negative, saying something negative about another person or thing. Now, when we hear criticism, we often think of negative aspects. We think of bad things, which is true. Criticism has a negative connotation. It has a bad meaning or emotion to the word. But we're going to talk about today about how criticism can be useful, how we can use criticism in English in a way to help people rather than hurt people. But before we do that, let's talk about what is the worst criticism you have ever received. What is the worst criticism you have ever received? What's something terrible that somebody said to you that made you feel very, very bad? Not constructive criticism, not nice criticism. What was an example of bad criticism that you received? In says face criticizing. I'm guessing like how your face looks, maybe. Let's see. Luna has 3 sons. Says, "Oh, once my father said everyone is doing their best, but not me." Oh, that's terrible. How could a father say that? That's so sad. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry, Luna. That's not great. Okay, these are some good examples, sad examples, but good examples of what I'm looking for. I received criticism when I first came to Korea that I thought was bad criticism, but I later learned was good criticism. I didn't know what it meant. When I first came here, one of my friends commented that I have a small face. They said, "Oh, you have such a small face." Now, in America or UK or wherever, we don't really talk about having a big face or a small face. It's not a comment that people give. I had never heard it before I came to Korea. So hearing that I have a small face, I wondered, is that a good thing? Are you saying a bad thing about me? I later learned in Korea it's a good thing to have a small face. But just be aware that if you say that outside of Korea, some people might not understand what you're saying because it's just, I had never heard it before. Okay, have you ever had to give criticism? Maybe at work, maybe, I'll give an example of when I give criticism. I edit people's essays and books and things. I'm an English teacher. I specialize in grammar. I try to edit things for people. And so I have to criticize their writing. I have to give them constructive criticism, try to tell them what's wrong, but how to improve their writing. And that is what constructive criticism is. Constructive criticism means telling somebody what's wrong with them, but also how to fix it, or your suggestion for how to fix it. Or it's also constructive criticism. We're going to look at this in a minute. Constructive criticism can also be you're saying something bad, but also something good. You don't want to just say all negative things. If you say only bad things, of course it's going to be negative. Even if you're giving suggestions for how to improve, if everything you say is negative, it's going to be negative. So with constructive criticism, we're going to look at how to criticize the bad things, praise the good things, and make suggestions for how to improve the bad things. Now, of course, with constructive criticism, we're going to be talking more about skills and more about what people can do better. Like if you're giving a presentation, you can do this better. Or if you want to save money, you can do this better. Or if you want to exercise and get stronger, you can do this better. Constructive criticism doesn't really work for things that people can't change. So you can't really say to a person that, oh, your face looks horrible. You need nose surgery and some chin surgery. You need lots of surgery. It's not going to help because most people are not going to want to get a lot of plastic surgery. And saying that someone needs to get plastic surgery, even if that's the solution, still not kind, still not very helpful. It will still hurt their heart. So we're more talking about constructive criticism for things that people can change, that they can actually change, the things that they do. Okay, Luna has 3 sons has asked, are there any other compliments in Korea different from Western society? The face one really stuck out to me because I had never heard that before. And after I heard it once, I started to hear it in a lot of different places. Saying that someone's eyes are big, I've heard that because some people like to get the 쌍꺼풀 surgery for their eyelids. Having big eyes is not a thing in the West either. I mean, it's just different genetics, I guess, but it's that comment to me, I don't know if I have big eyes or small eyes. I don't know. So those kinds of things. Other things maybe in the West, a compliment that you're independent is more is better. It's because I think it's changing with, and now I'm really venturing into more societal issues and not English issues, but I think that it's changing with the generations. I think the younger generation is becoming more independent. But yeah, some things I guess are different compliments, but definitely avoid the face thing because most people won't like me, even though I was living in Korea. I didn't know if it was a compliment or an insult. So be careful about that. Let's see. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. We're going to talk about the hamburger structure, and that is a lovely picture of a hamburger that's making me quite hungry. Okay, so the hamburger structure works like this. First, you give positive feedback. So if you need to criticize someone, if you need to say something that they need to change, we want to sandwich it between 2 good things. So first you give positive feedback. Tell them something good that they did. Then after that, provide constructive criticism. Now remember, constructive criticism means saying something bad they did, but also your suggestion on how to fix it. And then you give more positive feedback. Now, the constructive criticism is important. So you're saying something good, something bad, and how to fix it, and something good again. If you only say something good, something bad, and something good, without saying your suggestion on how to fix it, people are only going to remember the bad thing. People always remember the bad stuff. They don't remember the good things. So if I say that your presentation, if I'm criticizing someone's presentation, and I say the introduction to your presentation was great. I liked the joke you told, but your voice sounds really weird and I hate your voice. But the conclusion was also, I think you answered everyone's questions really well. The person receiving criticism isn't going to remember, oh, they liked my introduction. Oh, they liked my conclusion. They're only going to remember, I hate your voice. And you're not giving them, helpful criticism, constructive criticism. You're not saying how to fix it. And really criticizing someone's voice is not nice either because they can't really change it. Speaking of voices, my voice is giving me problems. Okay, so remember, we need something positive, negative, but also how they might fix it. And again, finishing with something positive, so it leaves a good taste in their mouth. Okay, so that is the Hamburger Structure. I did not create the Hamburger Structure. This is not my creation. This is a well-known way to give constructive criticism. So if you want to read more about this or get more examples of how to use the Hamburger Structure, you can easily search on Google. So let's first look at an example of bad criticism. So this is bad criticism. Joe, I am going to be honest. Your presentation sucked. It was too long and you were too boring. You need to have more energy. Next time, plan better too. Do you think you can do that? These are all negative things. He didn't say anything positive. He did give a suggestion though. He said, next time, plan better. So maybe if you have a better plan. That's kind of constructive criticism, but using an imperative sentence like this, saying just plan better, do it now, comes off as very rude. You need to use more polite language when you're giving constructive criticism, not imperative sentences. Okay, let's see. And by the way, for any of you Harry Potter fans out there, an imperative sentence is a sentence without a subject. An imperative sentence is where you say like, sit down, do this, be quiet, go away. There's no subject. You're telling someone to do that. And in the Harry Potter universe, one of the bad spells is the Imperious Curse. J.K. Rowling got her spell names mostly from Latin. And so imperious, imperative, they're the same root word, the same Latin word. And the Imperious Curse tells someone to do something. Do this, go do that. And they can't control themselves. So that's one way to remember it. So don't use imperative sentences when you're giving constructive criticism. Luna has 3 sons says, shut up, Malfoy. Great, excellent. Some good Harry. I thought you were a Harry Potter fan if your name is Luna. Great. One of my favorite characters, by the way. Let's see. So let's look at an example of constructive criticism with the Hamburger Structure. So remember, good, bad, suggestion, good. I really liked your PowerPoint, Joe. It was quite creative. There's the first positive. That's the good thing. It was quite creative. Now, the problem and how to fix it. There were some times that the presentation felt a little slow, though. That's more constructive criticism. That's saying something bad. And notice, I want you to notice this. When I'm criticizing the person, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you did this wrong. You were bad. I'm going kind of a roundabout. I'm not directly pointing the criticism at that person. Notice the sentence. It says, there were some times that the presentation felt a little slow though. I did not say you were slow or your speaking was slow, because saying you is very accusatory. So when you're giving criticism, it's good to try not to say you did this wrong. So there were some times that the presentation felt a little slow though. Now, here comes my suggestion. Perhaps you could try talking faster. That's my suggestion. And I'm softening it. I'm softening with perhaps. You could. So this is not saying, next time talk faster. Next time do this. I'm not using imperative sentences. I'm giving a suggestion, a very soft suggestion. If you hear my children in the background, I'm sorry. I'm at home. Except for that, I thought your little jokes were perfect. So we finish with good feedback. We finish with something nice. We finish with your jokes were good. So we had something positive. We had the criticism, the bad thing they did, but we didn't say you. We weren't direct. Then we gave the suggestion on how to fix it, and then more positive feedback. Let's see. Let me catch up in the chat room. Oh, I'm sorry, but the Luna is from Sailor Moon. Oh, Sailor Moon. Okay, I haven't seen Sailor Moon in a long, long time. Man, that's a long time ago. Okay, so that Luna. When I think of Luna, I think of Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter. She says, I've been using this name for 20 years. That's great. Okay, good. Still a great name. Luna comes from the moon, lunar. That's why Luna Lovegood has that name, because we think that the moon makes people crazy. Like werewolves, when they see the full moon, they go crazy. And Luna is a little bit weird, and we associate lunar, the moon, with strangeness. That's why her name is Luna. I'm not sure if that's the same case for the Luna in Sailor Moon. Not sure. Okay. So here is, I'm going to give you 3 tips. Oh yeah, Jano said lunatic. Exactly. Lunatic also comes from that lunar moon meaning. Constructive criticism tip number 1. Give concrete examples for your criticism if possible. This helps the other person to understand what they need to improve. Now, when I say a concrete example, what do I mean by a concrete example? I mean something that really happened that they can look at and say, oh, I did exactly that wrong. So my previous example of good feedback wasn't perfect because it did not give a concrete example. It said, there were times that your presentation was a little bit slow. But when? When was it slow? That's not a concrete example. If I said, when you were talking about Steve Jobs starting to build the Apple company, when you know that little 2-minute part that you were talking about in the beginning of your presentation, that felt a little bit slow to me. So I'm really giving them a perfect example. This part of your presentation, this part felt slow. So if you can really be specific and give concrete examples, it helps people to know what they need to do to improve, really where they made a mistake. That is useful. So if you can, give concrete, specific examples. Okay. Constructive criticism tip number 2. Explain what you want the other person to do differently in the future. So yeah, basically just tell them what they did wrong and how they could improve. In my previous example, I said, maybe next time you could try speaking a little bit more quickly. Just try to give them what you might improve, what you think would be better. Now, this works for some things. Maybe some people are right when they tell you what to improve. Now, in my opinion, as an editor of not just essays, but books, if you're doing creative work, if you're a painter or a songwriter or a writer, anything like that, if we're talking about creative work and you're getting criticism for your work, here's my one caveat. It means one exception, one yewe to the constructive criticism being useful. 90% of the time, I have found, 90% of the time, if someone is criticizing your creative work, like I said, you wrote a song or you made a painting or a drawing or something. If someone is criticizing it and saying, this is wrong, here's how you should fix it. 90% of the time, they're right that something is wrong. This feels weird. But also 90% of the time, their suggestion on how to fix it is wrong. So just be aware of that people can look at what you're doing and give criticism, and they're usually right that something is wrong, that you've done something wrong, or that it doesn't feel right or doesn't look right. But almost always, their suggestion for how to fix it is also wrong. So just be careful of that. They're not meaning to be wrong, but just especially in your creative work, if you're receiving criticism, just be aware of that if someone says something's wrong, they're usually right. If they say how to fix it, they're usually wrong. So just be aware of that. Okay, constructive criticism tip number 3. Agree on specific targets for improvement and timelines. If you do this, the other person understands exactly what they need to improve and when. Now, this is more for constructive criticism on the job or at school. So if, for example, I, as a teacher, have students who are writing an essay, and they write an essay, and I check one student's essay, and I say, your essay is great, you wrote really well, but you keep switching between tenses. This sentence is in present tense, this sentence is in past tense. You keep switching tenses. Why do you keep switching tenses? This is a problem. Now, you know the problem. Here's my suggestion. Choose. Write all in present tense or all in past tense, past voice, whatever. Choose one. Now, we're going to practice this. The next essay is due in a month. Next month, we're going to do another essay. I expect when I receive your next essay next month, I don't want you to have this same problem. So I've told the student the problem, how to fix it, and the deadline. So I've said, by next month, I want you to fix this problem, and we'll check it again next month. This works great at schools if you're a teacher. It also works great at jobs, a company if you're the boss, or even just a coworker if someone's asking for your opinion. If you're the manager, give them timelines that, yeah, this is what you did wrong, this is how you improve, and I expect to see improvement by this date. Okay, great. Let me catch up on the chat room a little bit. Let's see. Not many people can accept criticism easily. That's great. Yeah, you can't accept. A lot of people cannot accept criticism easily. I agree. And I'm going to give you a phrase right now. To accept criticism, you have to be thick-skinned. You have to be thick-skinned if you're receiving criticism. People who do not have thick skin, I mean, not really, not physically, this is a saying, this is not really talking about skin, but people who don't have thick skin cannot take criticism. They get offended or they get hurt. If you have thick skin, then when you hear criticism, you don't get offended, you don't get hurt, you just understand what you did wrong and you try to fix it. Now, in my opinion, most people start off thin-skinned, and as they receive more criticism and learn to improve themselves, they become more thick-skinned. So I think it takes practice, like anything. Let me keep reading these comments. Let's see. So you need to be very sensitive and thoughtful to give nice criticism in a beautiful way. Chung Dawoon says, I agree. You need to be sensitive. You need to understand how your words are going to hit the other person. Because, yeah, I remember criticism that people gave me years and years and years and years and years ago. The bad things they said. It sticks in your head. You remember. Luna's Three Sons says, I had a singer boyfriend and I had to say that he was great even though his song was not my taste. Now I can say you suck. Great. Now you have the freedom. Yeah. Let's see. Chulapan kalta? I don't know that expression. I don't really know. So thick-skinned is when you're receiving the criticism. If you are criticizing me and I am thick-skinned, it won't hurt my feelings. I'll say, okay, I understand. I'll fix it. And I'm okay. That's thick-skinned. Let's see. Jano says, I am so thick-skinned that I can laugh it off at anything. I can laugh off anything. I can laugh off anything. Great. I can laugh off anything. Great. Okay. Let's keep going. Now that we've had some suggestions, my 3 tips. Now, let's do a quick practice activity. Quick practice activity. So I'm going to talk to you about two situations. Two situations, one by one. We're going to read the situation, think about it, and you can type your constructive criticism in the chat room. What advice, what suggestion, what criticism would you give in this situation? Try to use the hamburger structure. So here's the first situation. An employee who works hard and is friendly with everyone has been coming into the office 30 minutes late every day. This is his only problem. You are the manager, okay? Imagine that you are the manager. You are this guy's boss. Now this employee, he works hard, he's very friendly, but he has one big problem. He comes to the office late every day. What criticism, how would you help him improve using the hamburger structure? Go, right in the chat room. I'll wait for a second. This is the first situation. We have one more after this. So remember, good thing, bad thing, suggestion, another good thing. Anyone? Jano has given us an example of what you should not say. Don't say that. Yeah, I hope you're just kidding. He says, do you think you are such a big shot here that you can come whenever you want? Yeah, that is not constructive. Good example. I like the use of big shot. If you don't know, a big shot is someone who thinks that they're very important. It could be someone who is important. Like you can say, oh, that's the big shot director who is important. But if you think that you are the big shot, then you are too big-headed. You think too much about yourself. So that's a good example of what you should not do. I'll wait for one or two more suggestions from people. I know it takes a second to type things up. So I'll wait for a second. Then we'll move on to the next situation. Then we will look at some phrases we can use when giving constructive criticism. Okay, Luna has three sons has said, I was wondering if you know the office hour. If you don't have any problems in your house, can you please come to the office on time? I'm not going to say like this, just going to fire me. Wow, you are a strict manager. Okay, that's his only problem. He works hard. He's friendly with everyone. You can't just fire him. Got to give him a chance to improve. Okay, good. Thank you for your honesty, though. Unmi Song says, I want to tell you you are a hard worker. Everybody loves you, but you're late for work quite every day. That is actually not good. If you can fix this problem, you will be great. That's great. Good. I like that you're praising him first, telling him the problem, how to fix it. That's awesome. Yeah. Good. You could also say, if you don't fix this problem, I'm going to fire you if you're Luna. Okay, good. That's about what Unmi Song said. That's about what I would say too. That's kind of what I would say. You know, I know you're a hard worker. You do great when you're in the office. The only problem is that you're late every day. If you can come on time, that would be great. Because I know people love you. People around here love you. So yeah, just try to come on time. So I said, good thing, you work hard. Bad thing, you're late. Suggestion, come on time. And another good thing, people love you. Let's see. Oh, we have some more. In says, you are a very good coworker and everyone enjoys working with you. But this company likes punctual people. If possible, could you come into the office? I'll help you. Great. Good. And Jano says, I know you work hard and we love having you here, but you being late, your being late makes people uncomfortable. What should we do about it? Great grammar too. Good. Awesome. Okay, great. Let's look at the next situation. Now you're not the manager. Now you're just a coworker. So you can't fire people, Luna. A coworker has asked you to critique their presentation. After you watch them practice, you notice that they are very good at speaking, not ate speaking. There's a typo. You notice they are very good at speaking and smiling and using body language, but their PowerPoint is messy and difficult to understand. So, this is your next situation. A coworker has asked you to critique their presentation. They want you to watch them give the presentation as practice. So after you watch them practice, you notice they're very good at speaking and smiling and using body language, but their PowerPoint is messy and difficult to understand. How do you give them constructive feedback using the Hamburger structure? Give me your thoughts right in the chat room. Oh, Love Ding Dongy says, go home, man, and grab some snacks. You're done. You guys are very strict, very brutal. No second chances. Oh boy, okay. I'm not going to say that because this is YouTube, but yeah. Oh man, your PowerPoint. My 3-year-old can do better than that. Yet again, a great example of what you should not say. This is what you should not say. But yeah, great. My 3-year-old can do better than that. Great. Excellent. And I know 3-year-olds. I have my daughter will turn 4 years old, international age, tomorrow. Her birthday's tomorrow. And my son is almost 2 years old. So yeah, I know 3-year-olds. Okay. Let's hear some better comments. Something you should say rather than something you shouldn't say to your coworker. Let's see. Unmi Song says, I love how you present, your style, smiling and engaging. Only problem is the content. It's a bit hard to understand. If the contents are clear, it will be perfect. Other than that, it's amazing. That's great. That is a great example. Yeah, you gave them praise. You said what's wrong, how to fix it, and then gave them more praise. Good. My only thing I would do is give more concrete examples about how they're amazing. You said smiling, that's good. The style, what style? Like moving their hands is good. More concrete examples, but that's great. Luna has 3 sons. Your presentation is perfect, but your PowerPoint doesn't seem to fit your presentation. If it's okay, can I help you make it more clear? That's good. That's good. Maybe more. You could give more concrete examples when you're helping them fix the PowerPoint. Later say, this is too cluttered. There's too many words on this slide. Let's add some more bright pictures. Something like that. So yeah, it's a little bit short, but I know that this is the chat room and you can't type a lot. But yeah, you could give more concrete examples when you're talking to them later. Clear, neat. Your presentation is, make it clearer, neater. I would say both are okay. Make it neater, make it more concise could also be good. Let's see, Jungdaon76 says, your communication skill was great, but it would make it better if you can make PowerPoint neat and readable. I am so excited to see the advised version. The revised version, not advised. Advised means someone's giving you advice. So the revised version. Great. Love Ding Dongy says, everything was good, though only for PowerPoint it was a little bit messy. It would be better for you to make it more simple and effective. Good. Again, more concrete examples would be nice. You can't just say, everything's great, except you suck here. You need to give more concrete examples, but otherwise, great. Jano says, go take global communication presentation. Oh, are you in my class? I don't think I realized that. Maybe we talked about that before. Yeah, go take that class. That'll help you. That's a difficult class, though. But yeah, that will help you give better presentations for sure. Okay, great. Let's keep going. Now I have a quotation by Frank A. Clark, who says, criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish a man's growth without destroying his roots. What do you think this means? What is he trying to say? Criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish a man's growth without destroying his roots. What does this mean? So sweet? Is this sweet quotation? I think so. It's nice. How do you interpret this? What do you think he's trying to say? Jano, that's perfect. Yeah, give him the respect he deserves, and don't go kill his ego. Great. Yeah. Unmi Sung says criticism is to make people better, not stop what they are doing. Yeah, so it's like rain. You know, imagine that someone's a tree. You want gentle rain. Gentle rain is what they need to grow and be stronger. But if you attack them like a hurricane or a tornado, that's going to destroy them. So yeah, be gentle rain, not a hurricane. Una's Three Sons says you should not blame, but just criticize with nice words. And Love Ding Dongi says, give criticism with a true love for others. Great. Yeah. Treat them like a tree. Gentle rain, not a hurricane. Okie dokie. Now, yeah, Chengdaon 76 says, so be thoughtful and respectful. Yes. Let's look at some phrases you can use to help you when giving criticism. Now remember, we talked about before, when you give criticism, you don't want to be too forceful, too direct. Say, you did this wrong. You did this. You did this terrible thing. You want to go kind of a roundabout way. You want to be indirect about it. And these are some phrases that will help you be more indirect. So the first is, I've noticed that. So yeah, we can use this phrase to gently introduce a problem you have noticed. So here's my example sentence. I've noticed that you often say or ah when you are giving a presentation. So yeah, instead of saying you say and ah too much, you suck. Don't say that. Be gentler. Say I've noticed that, or I just saw that you do this. So this softens it. This makes it a little bit more indirect. So try when you're giving criticism. Try to be more indirect if possible. I've noticed that you say or ah when you're giving a presentation. Okay, next phrase. Needs to be improved so. So this, we can use this phrase to explain the problem without saying you, which often makes the other person feel defensive. But it also kind of tells them how it will make them better. So instead of saying that, like, you spoke too slow, you need to speak faster. Instead of just saying the problem and the solution, we're giving them the problem, we're giving them the solution, and how that solution will actually improve their presentation. So saying that you need to speak faster, why? Why do you need to speak faster? Why is it important to speak fast? You could say, I've noticed that, wait, let me look at the phrase here. What was the phrase? Needs to be improved. Your speaking speed needs to be improved, needs to be sped up so that people don't get bored and people aren't looking at their watches too much. So you're telling them why they need to make the improvement, not how to make the improvement, not how to fix it, but why they need to fix it. And the why is very important. So my example is the PowerPoint needs to be short, needs to be improved to be short. So try and edit it more. So you can use this to say, do this, improve it this way, or so that this happens. So it can be used to tell them how to fix it or why they can fix it. Let me look at the chat room. You don't have to call me Luna's 3 sons every time you call me. First, say Luna. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just reading the names on the screen. I just read it very quickly. So my name channel is long because my sons wanted to upload some works they've been doing. Okay. Luna. Okay, cool. Needs to be improved. Yes, love, ding dong. I just like saying that. That's fun to say. Okay. The next word. How about ing? So this is verb, so this is gerund. How about ing? This is how to give a gentle suggestion. Instead of, remember, we don't want to say an imperative sentence. We don't want to say, hey, use more pictures in your presentation. Do this. We want to be gentle. We want to be indirect. So we can use this. We can say, how about using more pictures in your presentation? We use this phrase to gently give a suggestion for improvement. So we don't just use the imperative. We don't say, use more pictures. We are gentler. We say, how about using more pictures in your presentation? It is a good way to be more indirect, gentler, like the rain, not a hurricane. How about verbing? Okay. How about using more pictures in your presentation? Yeah. You better do that. You better do that becomes very kind of threatening. What do you think is the reason? So instead of telling someone what they did wrong, or yeah, we can ask them to think about it. Instead of just always telling them, we can have a conversation. And a conversation goes both ways. We want to talk and how to improve things. So instead of just, being a hurricane and attacking the person constantly, you talk about things. You say, what do you think you did wrong? How do you think you could improve this? It's gentler that way. You're having a conversation. You're equals. So what do you think is the reason? We can use this question to gently help the listener understand his or her problem. So what do you think is the reason that you are always late? That example, that situation before where the person was a good worker, everyone loves him, but he's always late. We can ask him, what do you think is the reason that you're always late? Why? Do you go to sleep too late? Are you drinking soju every night? What's going on? Doesn't it sound sarcastic? What sound sarcastic? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Would never leave that job if the boss is that nice. Yeah, no kidding. I have had very nice bosses in the past, but yeah, usually not great bosses. Let's see. Next one. I can see some difficulties with. Again, this is a gentle way to point out a problem. Not saying that your vocabulary is bad. The vocabulary you used is terrible. I don't like it. Instead, we're gently saying the problems. So my example sentence is, although I think this essay is great, I can see some problems with the vocabulary you used. And you start a conversation. The student will say, oh, what are the problems? What vocabulary? Then you can give concrete examples. You are opening up a dialogue, a conversation, which is always a great way to be less like a hurricane. I keep coming back to that. Be gentle and help the person. Don't beat them down. Luna says, I mean the phrase, what do you think is the reason? Yeah, it could sound kind of sarcastic. I get what you're saying, that what do you think is the reason that you're doing this? I think it definitely depends on the tone that you use and what kind of person you normally are. It definitely won't work for everyone. It could come off as sarcastic. So yeah, be careful how you use that one. That's a very good point. In says, my boss always insults me after, what do you think is the reason? Okay, so people don't like this phrase. Okay, so maybe steer away from this phrase. Maybe it doesn't work as well in Korean culture. Although I think this essay is great, I can see some problems with the vocabulary used. Yeah, good. I think tone does the work. Yeah, tone is important. Tone is definitely important, how you deliver these. Always. Okay, great. Now, let's go to practice activity 2. We have like 10 or 11 minutes. Let's try to do this. Now, before, in the previous one, we had 2 situations, and we kind of spent more time on it. We did the hamburger structure. Now, I don't want to do the hamburger structure here because it takes too long. You have to write positive, negative, positive. It takes too long. We're going to go through these 5 pictures a little bit faster. This time, just give a bad criticism and a good criticism. You know, a bad one would be like, I'll give you an example. A bad one for this guy is, he's super messy. That doesn't help. Doesn't help anyone. You're super messy. Good criticism would be, maybe you should use a plate. Something like that, a suggestion or something nicer. So let's move on. Well, I've already talked about this picture. We have 4 pictures left. Let's go on to the next picture since we're kind of running out of time. Let's go on to this picture. This guy. Not a bad looking guy. Got some good style. Give me first your bad criticism. What is wrong with this person? How can you be rude? And then give constructive criticism, something polite, maybe a nice suggestion. Jano says, I so wanted to say all of these can be all very manipulative, but there's suitable amount of consistency, respecting each other, then I might think these are good advice. Yeah, I mean, anything like this can be manipulative. It depends on your tone. It depends on the reason you're giving the criticism. Definitely. It definitely depends on the tone and what you're trying to achieve. Don't show off. Yeah, don't be a show off. Come on, man. You're showing off too much. You look short. Wow. You're hitting him hard. You can go home and enjoy your donut. Oh, we're talking about the first guy before? Okay. The donut guy. Yeah, you can go home and enjoy your donut. That's good. I've noticed that your right hand holds a gun. Please put it down. Oh, yeah, he does. Oh, man, I never noticed that. He does kind of look like he's hiding a gun behind his back, doesn't he? Yeah, okay, I've noticed that. That is kind of scary. How about closing your shirt buttons? Yeah, that's saying that his style is bad and we don't want to look at your chest. So that's 2 bad things. That's great. These are good. Okay. It's easy. I think it's easy to give harsh criticism. It's easy to say bad things about people. Let's try to give some good criticism. Let's try to say something nice about this guy. How would you give him a suggestion or some nice criticism? And Tung Daun is already doing it. I think you would look even better if you can close one more button. That's good. That's constructive criticism. You're saying what's wrong and how to fix it, and you're being polite and gentle about it. That is awesome. Anybody else? Some constructive criticism for this man. Unmi Song says, you look so cool, man. The color match of your clothes is awesome. That's good. That's praise. No criticism there, but that's good. That's good. I like the praise. We need praise here. Luna says, I love your look, but women don't like when it's too much. How about taking off your hat? That's good. That's very good. You praised him. You said what might be wrong gently and a suggestion for an easy improvement. Like someone saying someone is short, there's no improvement for that. They can't fix their height. But a hat, you can easily take a hat off. Wow, you look cool today, man. Good. I'm sorry I've tried. I really don't like this photo. He needs to work out more, Jano says. Okay, so maybe your style's great, but maybe hit the gym a bit. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next picture. Yeah, this guy. Woo! Some style here. Hit him hard. Give him some harsh criticism. Be a hurricane. Let's hit this guy like a hurricane. Then we'll give him some nice criticism, if you can. Unmi says, what's wrong with you? Why do you look so sad? That could be, depending on tone, that could be offensive or nice. If you said, what is wrong with you? That's offensive. But, oh, what's wrong with you? You know, it depends on the tone, on how you say it. I can't criticize him. This is your style? This is what you like? Wow, I just keep saying wow, wow, wow. Why do you grow hair in your arm? Hey, some people can't help it. We grow hair on our arms. It's not our fault. Where would I get these? Where do I get these photos? I just, I think I found this on Pexels. P-E-X-E-L-S is a website for photos. I think I found it there. Oh man, I don't know what to say. What happened to you? I'm glad everyone likes today's topic. Thank you. Jano says, you need to shower. Oh boy. How do you know? I don't think he looks particularly dirty. I want to close my eyes. Wow. Yeah, you could say, okay, I'll tell you one of my favorite jokes for being mean to someone, to a friend, you know. One of my favorite jokes. I'm going to write it down. So you ask, I say, Josh. We'll say Josh says, oh no, what happened? Does your face hurt? Okay, so this is the beginning of my joke, and what you said about that guy reminds me of it. So I would say, oh no, what happened? Does your face hurt? And my friend will say, what? No? So I'm making a joke. I'm saying to my friend, oh no, what happened? Does your face hurt? And my friend says, what? No? What are you talking about? And I say, oh, wait a minute, why am I not typing? And I say, oh, really? Because your face is hurting me. That's my joke. So that's what it reminded me of. You guys saying such terrible things about this guy. You want to close your eyes. So yeah. Okay. We're running out of time. We're not going to give this guy constructive criticism. Sorry, dude. We don't have time for you. I'm so sorry, Mr. Man. We're going to move on to the next one. We just don't have time. How about this girl? First, negative criticism, then positive constructive criticism. Okay. This girl, let's give her negative first and then positive. Yeah, that poor guy. We don't have time. We ran out of time. Sorry, man. This girl, let's give her some negative criticism first. What did you do with your face? Are you high? You guys are really funny today. Good. Are you high? Okay. She looks desperate. It's hard to give any bad criticism. Yeah, it looks kind of almost like she's trying too hard, you might say. What's up with the sesame seeds on your face? Let me fix your spelling. Sesame seeds. Yeah, sesame seeds. What's up with the sesame seeds? I need sunglasses because of your face's tiny mirrors. Oh, you guys are funny. Oh man, you guys are really good at giving negative criticism. Okay, now let's try some positive criticism. Something maybe she can improve. How about that? Let's try to give something positive here. Let's be kind of nice, kind of sweet. Anybody? You look different, but I love it, Luna says. That's good, yeah. You have a different look to you, but I like it. It suits you. It works well. Jano says, you look like that girl from The Fifth Element. How lovely. I would love to see your face a bit more. Yeah, oh, yeah, her hair kind of looks like that girl, right? Oh, what was her name? I can't remember now, but I know who you're talking about. With Bruce Willis in the movie. Unmi Song says, your hair color looks amazing, but if you smile, you look much sweeter and beautiful. Good. However, I'm going to say this. I am going to say this because that was a very good example. However, guys, particularly men, don't tell a girl to smile. Just don't tell her, oh, you should smile more. You look prettier if you smile. Don't do it. It's very demeaning. It's not a nice thing to say to women. So maybe woman to woman, it's okay, but a man to a woman, don't. It's not polite, not kind. It comes off as very, demeaning is the only word I can think of. Let's see, some more. I'm going to say only a nice thing for the rest of the class. That's nice. You look gorgeous today, man. I love your dress. Good. Her dress? Oh, yeah, it's a nice dress. I didn't even notice that. You would look so romantic if you lose those sesame seeds and the desperate look. Okay, exotic makeup. I love it. And yes, we are sadly out of time. We're going to do this picture next. And I'll just tell you the best. I've done this. I've used this picture before in a similar class. I've used this picture before. And the best criticism I heard for this picture, I still remember it because it was such a good criticism. A student looked at this picture and said, why are you dressed like a Pepsi bottle? I still think that's the best criticism. Why are you dressed like a Pepsi bottle? Okay, that's my class for today. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be some more coming up today. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely weekend. And I'll see some of you in class next week. I mean, in my online classes, I suppose. So have a great weekend. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Thank you for the laughs. This was an enjoyable class. Bye.